Situated at the top of the hill, overlooking the harbor and town of St. George, Fort Frederick is another symbol of the French-British battles throughout the Caribbean. We are Chantal and Gary, and this is our home, Maracudja, a Beneteau 423. 2 years ago, we retired early to live our dream. We left our land home in Florida and sailed the Caribbean south to see new horizons. This season 3 and during the COVID pandemic, we find ourselves in Grenada, the Spice Island. So click the subscribe button and follow our journey. This is turmeric. And that's the plant. That's the plant right there, the turmeric.
What you got there? That's a big one. Wow, that's a big one.
With a group of cruiser friends, we booked a tour to visit some of the iconic places in Grenada. Our guide Cutty is a very knowledgeable local man, and as he took us around the island, he showed us the various edible plants.
What kind of trumpet tree here?
Oh boy, don't break anything. Woo! Stay, look at Papa.
I see a rainbow.
It is always so refreshing to swim into the cool, fresh river waters. The mountain air is cooler and the water is definitely cooler, almost cold. Grenada is composed of 5 volcanic centers, most dormant, so the island has some high mountains covered with rainforest.
Rainforest. So up here we get 160 inches of rain, compared with 45 inches on the lowlands.
Yeah, bamboo is invasive, but it's so beautiful. Hold on. Grand Étang is a crater lake in an extinct volcano that hasn't erupted in about 2 million years. It is a national park and offers great hiking trails, from easy to very challenging. The view from the top is spectacular. Sometimes when going into the park, you can be lucky and see mono monkeys. Their predecessors were brought into Grenada from Africa, presumably as pets. Their descendants now live in the interior of the island, and occasionally will come out and play with you if you give them some food. It's all part of the show now.
Chase up there.
Yeah. Elijah on your back, yeah. Nope. He's like, don't put your hand there. Uh-oh.
Thank you very much.
These brown pods are cocoa, like for making chocolate. Grenada is second in the world as supplier of nutmeg,
Yeah, I see the nutmeg.
but sadly lost 80%
Yeah,
of their
that's
crop
good.
to Hurricane Ivan in 2004.
And the cocoa, you're looking on the trunk of the tree as well as on the branches. It's all over the tree.
Cocoa trees were also severely damaged. 17 years later, farms are fully functioning and now expanding. It is beautiful to see and encouraging.
Very small, but we have to mix this.
Okay.
From the bad beans. Right? So you're going to have two ladies sitting on the table. Here, and they're going to sort out each and every bean. So the bad ones going to come here. That's the bad beans. That's what the bad beans look like. Right? And the good beans are here. That's the good ones in those bags. And that's the bad ones. So we throw back the bad beans in the land for the compost.
For the compost?
Yeah. So we use back for the compost.
How do you know which one's good, which one's bad?
Well, you see, when it all broke, that's no good. Right? This is good.
On their whole, they're good.
Yeah. See when they kind of crack up and stuff. See, algae, so get rid of this. Right? This is not good.
Okay.
So we show this. Drop in this ball. Right? You have a big burner here. That's a big burner. Right? So fire goes down to the hole and roast up all the beans there in 18 minutes time.
Yep.
Right? So we're roasting the beans in order so that the shells can come off. After they've been roasted, it's very easy to crack open. Then we're going to turn this wheel, the beans going to drop here. Right? So this here going to spin like for 15 minutes and keep it cool. Okay, it's going to be very hot after it comes from the fire. And then again, we're going to take it in buckets again and carry it upstairs. Upstairs, we're going to drop it from on top. There's a hole through the ceiling on top here. This machine here is called the winnowing machine. So this machine shakes and cracks the beans. Right? The shells are lighter. So there's a built-in vacuum inside of it, sucking off the shell.
Okay.
So the shell going to travel, go in a bag. We're going to put a bag to collect the shells. The heavier particles fall down below. We're going to put buckets to collect the heavier particles, which is the bits of cocoa. And that's what we use to make the chocolate. This machine here is called the Molanger. It's an old antique German machine found in Oregon in the USA. One of the stones here weighs 500 pounds. So there's 1,000 pounds rolling on the cocoa together with the sugar and vanilla bean. So we lower the stones and the bottom piece spins so that the stone can roll on the cocoa together with the sugar and vanilla bean. So after the stone rolls on it for half an hour, it gets wet. It turns to the form of a paste. Then we're going to scoop it up and put it in this machine right here. Right? So this machine here is called the refiner. The chocolate has to stay for 24 hours before it gets liquid. So this machine really liquefies the chocolate, turning it into liquid. But it must stay 24 hours for it to get liquid. Right? After we're going to take it away from here, by buckets again and carry it upstairs to store in a tank. So then it could turn into shapes of bars.
Okay.
Right?
So you put the chocolate beans and vanilla, the cocoa?
Cocoa, vanilla, and sugar.
Oh, you mix it together.
And the reason why it gets wet, it turns into the paste form by rolling on it for a long time.
Fat.
And we're going to lead up down below. You heat it up. Yeah, so you get, so the oil comes out from it. Yeah?
Gotcha.
Just pure cocoa bean, which has no sugar, stored in this tank. So we store it here to keep it very hot. It's going to be very hot in this tank.
See? Chocolate? Okay.
Yeah? So now, What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to fill up this mug here with some of it, some of the cocoa. Use a funnel, I'm going to fill up this cylinder here with cocoa as well. But you have a piston that pressing against the cocoa inside of the cylinder. By using a 20-ton jack and hot fire below, I'm extracting the oil from the cocoa, making cocoa butter. So that's the cocoa butter in here. In the bowls, and the byproduct inside of the cylinder, that's it. So this we're going to use to make hot chocolate, cocoa powder. Yeah, we're going to use this stuff to make hot chocolate. And this here is cocoa butter for your skin, cosmetics.
$17.85. This rum distillery was established.
135 years old.
Wow.
Oldest one in Grenada, but the third oldest in the entire Caribbean. The brand of the rum is Rivers. Reason, we're using river water directly from the river. Half a mile away, we got a reservoir. So it begins the process, it ends it. There isn't any modernized equipment. In 1785, guys, most hasn't changed. Years old.
Wow.
That's the only functioning water wheel in the Western Hemisphere. The other water wheels in the Caribbean, Grenada got tons of water. Functioning one, that's old, that's the only one. G. Fletcher and Company, London and Derby, that's the manufacturer. So long, the water is in channel along this man-made canal. It's opened up along the aqueduct, powering the water wheel. The cane and the grinders, it's on the inside.
English.
4 stages, 2 weeks, we're able to convert cane juice into 75% alcohol body.
75.
That's before 9/11. It's still been made, but after 9/11, a worldwide ban was issued.
Now?
You're not allowed to take 70% on any airline.
Yeah.
Because of 9/11.
It's fuel.
They make 75%, 500 bottles every day, so 300 becomes 75, while we just take 1% off their ban. You get a 69%. So legally,
69.
you get a 69%. Yeah?
Still.
Water energy. That's why the brand is called Rivers. The water begins the process and also ends the process. There ain't no water, there ain't no rum.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we?
Yeah.
We're presently owned by 3 Grenadians, Ray, Dykes, and Franklin. 3 Grenadians, legally RDF Enterprises. G. Fletcher and Company, London and Derby, that's the same company that makes Rolls Royce. Before they were into cars, they were into manufacturing water wheels and engine. G. Fletcher and Company, London and Derby.
It's the Rolls Royce of distilleries.
Exactly.
This is called bagasse. It is a remain of the sugarcane once crushed and dried, and is used as fuel for the furnace.
A gentleman stands there, normally. The level of the ground is way beneath, and feeds the same excess into the furnace, so when the cane juice comes in, heat it up to 100 degrees Celsius, we're burning the water up. 2 years later, balls compost and fertilizer.
Normally, during the rum making process, these large empty containers are filled up with cane juice. The workers normally scoop the juice from front to back. The reason is that as the juice comes in, it is about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. But as it is heated up by the furnace, and as the juice moves forward through the pipes, the temperature increases, burning the water off. The hot juice is then transferred to the square vats at the back to cool off, and at the end of the day, the juice is pumped into the next room, ready for the next process.
All the different times and amount that they did. The dates and the amount, the quantity. March, they stopped in March. March 26th was the last time. Wow. Welcome to River Antoine Estate. Don't say rum, say rivers.
The bacteria eats away the sugar naturally, and after about 8 days, you get between 11 to 70% alcohol. Distillation eats it up, evaporates the alcohol, and you get 75% alcohol strength. Some distillers want to speed up the distillation process and add yeast and fertilizer, and so that in 2 days they have a white rum. However, this process produces sulfate and may give a person hangover.
Normally it's just all full. We came here and they were full when we came.
Directly into these copper stills. A gentleman stands beneath and needs to feed the wood directly into the furnace, heating this up 250 degrees. I just said alcohol is vapor, right? The vapor rises, It's double filtered. The vapor goes back inside of this pipe. On the inside, this tank is known as a heat exchanger. The vapor goes along inside of the coil, preheating 300 gallons we left behind. So once the guys start for the day, every shift that's rotated in 4 hours, this saves the guys wood, time, and energy heat exchanger. The vapor continues along the copper pipe, and normally this is filled to capacity with the water directly from the river. That's why I said the brand is rivers. We begin and the water ends. When the vapor touches there, gas into a liquid with condensation. Clear, drinkable rum is normally flowing inside of these tanks. Downstairs, we test it, bottle it, and package it.
Wow.
Ready to be sold. 4 stages, 2 weeks, cane juice is rum.
Oh boy. We build boats here.
Out of wood.
And look at the seaweed in the back there.
Yeah.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah. No, this is the Atlantic side, I believe. There's an island over there. Yeah.
The hurricane season is upon us, and so we experience our first hurricane on the boat and must prep Maracudja for the inevitable. I also grab at the chance of realizing one of my bucket list items and learn to scuba dive. So come see what the fuss is all about. The fun is just about to start. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button below. And if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to be notified when a new video comes out. Thanks for watching.